This is the Open Bezel Resin class. Alright, so I'm going to jump right on into it. Now this is kind of hard. My tape is different than what other tapes you can use, and I'll explain to you that I use this tape. It's so effective with holding my pieces. See how it is now, all sticky? But I like my pieces to be held down really strongly, and this blue painter's tape does a great job. We're going to be using Scotch tape, not Scotch tape, packing tape, clear packing tape. There is a difference between this tape, and that's because this is a UV resin. UV resin, as you can see, is packaged in a black container almost all the time. In fact, I don't know of any time it's not. This is hard resin, UV hard resin. UV, and this is a pigment that I'm going to be using, and I also have some stones that I'm going to be putting into my open bezel. As you can see, it's open. That's what they consider an open bezel. Now I put my tape here so that I have two little handles, and as I said, the tape difference between this and the packing tape is the packing tape is clear. So it does harden through quicker, but I found it's not a complete hardening. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So first thing I'm going to do is place my open bezel on here. The most important thing to do is push down onto your tape so that the resin does not seep through. It's always good to take a look. Now this has a bail that is flat like this. If you have one like this, you'll want to move it to the edge of your tile, just like that, so that you have an even surface. The next step would be to add some of your resin. But since I am going to color my, I'm going to color my backing. So I'm going to have different layers of resin. Believe it or not, even with this bezel, you can have more than one layer, and that's what I'm going to show you. So I put just a little bit. I didn't measure it because each bezel is different. So we'll go by sight and we'll examine it as we go. Now this is a pearl pigment, and I put a little bit of pigment into my resin. I'm going to stir it up. And that's not enough, I can already tell. Start with just a little bit because you cannot take it back out. You can always add, but you cannot take back out. You can also use a white pigment and other colors that are used for resin. It's important to note that if you do use a pigment of any kind, it makes it so that your resin takes longer to cure. So keep that in mind. Now these pendants on this resin amount is so small, it's not like you're going to be waiting a whole day, and UV works pretty good. You can put it outside. We live in Florida. It's not a bad idea. I always put mine outside on a good day. This one here I'm just going to pour in. Let me see if I can get it so that the camera can see. There we go. You see that, Michael? Mm-hmm. Don't worry about it if you spill it on the sides or it spills over. It's not normally what I do, but you can always take this off and clean it up later after it hardens. It comes right off, but there you go. That'll work. Now, if you get your finger, that's why we have these little handles, so that you can use your handles to handle the tape. I don't know why. I thought I put enough resin in there. There we go. That's going to be plenty. Add a little bit more resin, pigment resin. There we go. Alrighty. Much better. Now, if you notice, it flows. It usually levels itself off, as you can see. A shot of that. Alright. Now we got a very good start. Here's an important note, and that is, if you're going to do a color pigment, you want to harden that before you put your pieces like your stones and any other kind of charms that you have on there, because they will sink into the pigment of the resin, and you don't want that, because you won't be able to see your did you hand me a lighter that works? I made sure everybody had the new ones. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to try to pop any bubbles. If you worked with resin at all, you know we got bubbles all the time, and that was from stirring, primarily that was from stirring the pigment in. Okay. This is a UV flashlight, okay, and this is so effective. You can actually harden your resin with this, especially since the size of the pendant is so tiny. But what I'm going to do is cure it just enough to put my charms and rocks in. And you will see how quick this is. Now, I would not look at this light, not even, you really shouldn't look at it while you're doing it either, but definitely do not look at the bulb while it's on. So I'm going to test it, see how quick this is. Look, see, it's already hardening. I'm going to do a little bit more because I don't want my pieces to fall into that background resin. I want it to be laying on top. Okay? Sometimes you get these little holes when you use that flashlight as well. And one thing is very important to understand, that this blue tape is going, and this pigment is going to prevent the back of this from completely curing. And I'm going to show you how to fix that situation when we get to that part. Oops. See that? See me tapping on it? So it's hard enough that it's not going to fall into the resin. So I'm going to put my pieces on here. You see how they are laying on top of my resin? Now, it's okay for it to be a little damp and wet as long as it doesn't sink into it. Now, if I didn't have a pigment in this, you could let it, and it was clear, you could just go ahead and do it. Just, you know, but keep in mind, you just don't want that to fall through and get covered up by the pigment, which is considered the background. So this is, what's the name of this again?
Charolite.
Charolite. The reason why I asked Melody is because she can say it properly. Charolite. It's a nice stone. It's pretty purple. Mm-hmm. These are just white pieces of quartz, and you can find these in Joann's Fabrics. And this is just a design that I have chosen. And before everyone got here, I decided that this would be my choice of design. I put it into my open bezel, and I tested the look, design, how I wanted it to be. And this is what I chose. Now, you can go above your bezel, but you're going to have to dome. And doming is several layers of UV resin until it's completely covered the way you'd like it to be. If you don't want a high dome, then stay underneath of the bezel. See how I have my tweezers here? And you can test your bezel to see if it's underneath of it, the bezel edge. Okay? I'm going to put a couple more in here, and then I'm going to add some more clear resin on top, and then we're going to cure it. And then we'll be back after the top is cured. But I want you to see me add the top layer. Right. So my stones are higher than the edge of the bezel, and I'll likely have to dome maybe twice, okay? So, do I have clear here? I have clear here. Because I'm in a class, usually I use the tube. It's not coming out properly, so we'll do it like this. So you guys at your own chair, because I will give you some resin in a cup, want to use it like I am here. Hopefully it'll flow a little bit better. And I'm going to fill in the rest of my bezel, open bezel, with the resin. Keep in mind it will level. If it goes over the edge, it's fine. We will just take that off after it cures. But you really aren't striving just to throw it on there. You want to get it nice and even, and you don't want it to seep out or over the bezel. And you will have to get down real far, and you do just a little bit at a time. That's all. And keep in mind that you can keep adding. If you missed a spot or a stone didn't get covered, because one of my stones will not be covered with the first pour. Just so you know. Alright, I'm going to take a look here. Make sure. Okay, now I'm going to use my lighter again before my flashlight. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can take some bubbles out. I'll tell you that some people, they like bubbles, some people don't. Most of the time, I like them, believe it or not. But sometimes, you know, the objective is to get it as bubble-free as possible. But since I have a background with a pearl pigment, and it'll be hard to see the bubbles. Okay, so I'm going to put this under the lamp, and then I'll be back. All right? All right, I put it under my lamp for a little bit. It did overflow a little bit, and I cut it off so you can see it better when I flip this, because the back is not cured yet, okay? So, Roberta, come see this, because this is the part that you'll need to understand. I'm going to turn it like this because I never know how cured it is. Oh, look at that. It cured a lot better than I thought.
Oh, nice.
I might have to use that lamp more and more. All right, this is my new clean piece here. And as I said, I use this tape primarily because it's so sticky, it's going to hold my piece perfectly, okay? Now this one here is a little lopsided, so I want to put it up a little bit. That's me over there. And I have a little bit of music in our video today. Okay. Now I'm going to put the back layer. Okay. He's going to do it again.
Want me to go take care of it? Get it for you?
No, stop. All right, here we go. Now, this is the marking from the tape. It actually did cure most of the way through, okay? Because it just wants to contradict me. That's just the way the videos go. Always contradicting him. Teacher. All right. This time I'm not worrying about doming so much as I am just about cleaning up the back. Okay, it's going to take all that tape-looking resin and it's going to make it all a little shiny. And what you're looking at here as far as color is not texture, it's color, it's the pigment, the pearl pigment. Sorry. Alright, I'm spreading it. And I don't want to use a lot because it's the back and I just want to clean up the back. And I do need enough to make it so that it's, there we go. See how that was done? It's more like how you want to do it when you get to your station. Okay, I think I have enough to cover the back. So what I'm going to do is make sure there aren't any bubbles. Believe it or not, I've had very large bubbles form in the back, and honestly, when you just go ahead and put more resin on it, you'll never know. You just never know because the resin fills in all of the imperfections. And you can sand these, You can have bubbles pop on you, all kinds of things. UV resin fixes a lot of stuff for you.
That filled in nicely.
It did, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Now, this
Yep.
portion is done. I'm going to put it under the light. This UV lamp here stops the flow. Okay, so
We
my...
didn't have that when I was there. No.
No, but I use, this is the newer one, but I have one I bought for myself, and that, if you notice, it stops the flow. Remember, it would seep, you know, we were having
Yeah,
all them
yeah.
issues with this,
Had
that,
to
and
run
the
it
other.
outside and put it on your car or whatever.
Yeah. So this just stops that, and I do have a table sitting out front, out back, for us to put any pieces in the future. A little bit of tackiness going on here, but that's okay. All right. All right. A good view of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I might put another layer on, but at this time I'm not going to. I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to clean up my side because it was a little bit, you know, it dripped over a tiny, tiny bit. Right, guys?
Yes.
Just a tiny bit.
It was just a tiny, tiny
Tiny,
bit.
tiny bit.
Anyway, I can dome more, and I'll decide that later. But this is really what the finished product looked like. And this is the back. And now we're going to start with our students. Any questions?
How you gonna do those bevels on the side? How you can clean that up with? How you clean it up?
How to clean it up.
Right.
Very good question, Gary. Everybody has an X-Acto knife. And I would suggest that you're extremely careful when you do this. But hopefully, you know, you just want to hit off the side like this. Now, also, if it does drip over enough, it snaps right off many times, or you can cut it with scissors. Here we go. Here's the portion, some of it that poured over, and it was just cut right off. Okay? Any other questions? Here's a good note, and let me show you. As I said, my rocks are above the edge of the bezel, right here. So I'm going to dome again, but if you do not want that to be, here's a good tester. You take your toothpick or whatever you have over there, and after you place your pieces in, you're like this, okay? Anything that you can feel reaching above is going to be above that bezel. And if you don't want that, then you need to arrange your pieces differently. Another note here is the actual bail. This bail is different than this one, if you can tell. So when you go and put this on your tape, like so, okay, you want to lean this over the edge of your tile.
Lean what over?
This bail.
Oh, okay.
Right
okay,
there,
all right.
because it's going to make it off
Right.
center.
Okay.
It's going to make it uneven,
Right.
not level. Get it right. This flat one here is fine. You can just place it on there. It's not
Right.
going to change it.
Right.
However, what did change here is the fact that this was above the bezel, and we went down like that. So you just got to make sure it's as level as possible. But I like my piece. You guys like my piece?
Yep. Beautiful.
Ready? All right, you're on your own.
Can I see it?
No, it's sticky.
Oh.
Stop filming, Mike. Parts of that cut up.
Yes. Okay.
But if you want real dried small flowers,
Yeah.
it's like $6 at Joann's for like 2 flakes per container. And Joann's is not the only problem. I can't even find them in any other places right yet.
Okay.
And then, so I go online, look at your sheet for Amazon and eBay. I
Well,
can't,
I got some in my yard.
they're real flowers though.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but the problem is you'll have to test it and see what the resin does to the color of the flower.
Okay.
Some flowers do keep that. So what I would always do is test.
Do a test.
Yep. Anything that, colors, like with, this is alcohol ink, you guys can also use as a pigment. Please put your gloves on for this because my inks are a disaster, literally a disaster. But you can put, when I give you the resin, you can put your inks in
Nice
there.
little container.
Yeah. They're just a nightmare. I love alcohol inks,
I
but
do too.
Oh, my God.
man, oh man.
See, I take it, I break my
Now,
stones up. to
I
make
was
'em
thinking
tiny.
about doing something like this for the next one. About 6 inches above, don't look at the light. About 6 inches above. Is it on? Yeah, just move it around in circular motion for about maybe 30 seconds. 30 seconds. You're good. Now you've stopped the flow. Now you can take your, oh, you want to put stuff in that now?
Yeah.
Okay, so then take your, okay, you need to do more.
Huh?
You need to do more.
Where do we go, that resin over there, or?
I'm gonna get your resin for
Okay,
you, Gary.
okay, it's a little bit resin,
Just move it around a little bit, Mel.
okay.
Are you doing a color? pigment?
Yeah, I like to put some kind of color in it.
Alright, so I'll give you some in this one,
Okay,
and clear.
okay, that's clear, all right.
Remember, if you're gonna do a color and your stones and stuff go in, you wanna harden it, like she's doing, and she's gonna set her stones on top, and then she's gonna put another,
Right,
you got that, right?
I got that,
Okay.
right. Okay, but can you use alcohol ink and color in it?
Yes.
You can? Oh, okay.
I think you're all right, it's not gonna sink into, is there a pigment in that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay. You're
Just a
good.
little bit.
You're good, you can see them too. You're good, go ahead and do your design. Anybody staying for the, board meeting?
Yep. Matter of fact,
Not today?
I wanted to discuss with you,
I can't be nominated right now.
well, that's not what I was going to discuss with you.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
Since we had discussed at our last Zoom board meeting about possibly doing a show here in, say, January or February, if we might want to bring it to the board's attention that we want to,
Yeah,
but we're not set in stone yet.
right.
It all depends on what happens with the COVID and stuff.
That and, October the 20th is our board meeting.
Right. But not here, it's going to be on a Zoom, right?
Yes, but we can talk about the, show here day. Still have to plan for it.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah.
just let them know that we're thinking about planning, and it all depends on what happens with the COVID. In the next couple of months. I mean, and it would have to be limited to a certain amount of vendors.
Right.
Outside wouldn't be that bad, you know?
Uh-huh.
As long as it's a nice day.
Outside is probably where we're gonna go with it anyway, I think. Because we have more of a chance of it not,
Need some help?
you know.
Yeah, can you think you open that?
Probably not.
Hello? Hello?
Strong woman. Oh, did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
No.
I hate these pliers.
Oh, you know what? I have here, I have all these little, sea urchin spines that I got at Vulcan Mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could use them in making something.
Hey, Mike, can you get a little bit of Gary too after
Mhm.
you're done with Mel?
Yeah,
We're
trying to get
waiting
it.
on Roberta, because she's whacking away over here.
I'm working on the change.
She's still working.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to do it last night.
Because he's using alcohol ink. Gary's using alcohol ink as his pigment, one of his pigments. Gary and I love alcohol ink.
Oh, I love
Big
it.
metal tweezers or something.
No, I'll tell you what I think will work better. I thought I gave you one. I didn't give you one?
Give me one what?
Beeswax.
Oh, yeah, but I didn't, yeah, but then
Here
you
you
gotta. Thanks.
And then the toothpick, you move it into position.
Okay.
One side picks it up, the other side moves it into position. We made them one time in our class.
Did we
Remember
make those in the tree class?
Hmm?
Did we make
Yes,
those in the tree
yeah.
class?
Maybe. I think I made them in a couple classes. I'm not sure if the three classes one of them.
What's that?
The, beeswax toothpicks so that you can,
That was for the jewelry tree.
was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, matter of fact, I still have them, because she gave us each an extra pack.
Oh, no, I meant the ones that we actually made in our class.
Oh, no. These were from, Jerry's that she did last July.
Because I seen it on a video where you can make them
Right, yeah.
with either candle wax or beeswax, but beeswax works better.
Oh, yeah, beeswax.
It has to be.
Pretty soon I'm gonna be having some beeswax.
Oh, that's right.
You got bees?
I
Yeah.
have bees.
I want to talk to you.
Well, they're not
Yeah.
my bees, they're on my property, but they don't belong to me. They belong to, Honey Badger Bee Farm.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Ah.
And I missed him. Ron had gone to the doctor, took the car, so when Derek came to check on the bees,
You can talk. I don't think he can edit out the voices.
okay. Yeah, I was figuring, my God. he's
You've been
old.
banging for the last time.
But,
We can put some rock music in there.
I was gonna bring music, and then, yeah, next time maybe, no, if you come, you can bring me
I
some of
missed
that
him.
soothing music.
I sent him a text. He told me he was gonna be there, and so I sent him a text, when are you gonna get here? He goes, I just left. I says, what? He says, I saw no car there, so I figured you weren't home. I says, I've been in my shop working all day. Ron has the car. Because the time before, he said he was gonna kill the queen, because she wasn't producing. But now she's like, he says, I'll be back in 2 weeks to put another hive on
If you kill
top.
the queen, because she's not producing, this.
He'll put another queen in its place.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Long live the queen!
Yes. Off with her head. But no, sometimes if the bees, because there's different types of bees, and if they notice that the queen is not producing, they will actually make another queen before they kill her. And the male bees have no stingers. And they have one job only, and that is to impregnate
mate.
the queen, and then she kills them afterwards. So
Job well done.
so a boy bee is not the bee to be.
Check, please.
I had a friend up in Sugar Mills, and she did bees up there
Uh-huh.
in her backyard. And I came to one time, she was at my hairdresser, she used to be, and I used to go up there, and she's like, God dang it, you know what happened? I'm like, what's that? She's like, another swarm took my bees. You know they can do
Oh,
that.
yes, I know that.
I was like, really?
I
How does
lost
that
one of
work?
mine. One of mine disappeared, because what happened was the initial nooks that he brought me, they only hold 5 frames, so they called nooks, not hives. And they were improperly made, and there was no ventilation, and all that rain we had, it got damp inside, and they left. We don't know where they went. He put a swarm trap out trying to capture it. It's still hung on the tree, but there's no pheromones inside of it to attract any swarms that are flying around that are vagrants, I guess you want to call them. So I only started off with one nook to create my hive, and that's why it's behind where the other ones that he's done, where he had 2 nooks, they all combined together. And we had to actually take that nook and move it away from the other nook so that it wouldn't happen to it, and we actually caught the other one just in time, because it was gonna probably get ready to do the same thing.
Okay.
But thank God we didn't.
It's good that y'all are raising bees, though, we really
Oh, yeah,
need
because, oh
more
my
of
God,
that.
they're out there, my rain trees are all in bloom right now, they just are like loving it. And my neighbors, they see them out there, my girlfriend, she's got a bird bath, she says, I go out there, and she says, and I can see, they'll be out there all over her bird bath, getting a drink of water. And I have bird baths in my yard, but I never see them.
Yeah, I've been reading up on bees on the YouTube quite a bit. My sister's wanting to get into that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
They're quite interesting.
you're very quite interesting. They have a social setup too whenever they want to swarm.
Yep.
And they sit there, so this one group will say, go, I want to go here, the other group will say, I want to go there, and they get together and say, like, voting, they actually have a vote amongst.
Really?
Yeah, they actually have they sit there and they I guess, establish to one group here, well, I think this place is better than the other, say, I prefer, and they, between the two of them, 2 or 3 different places they decide to go to, then they come up with a decision, they all go that direction, whatever.
Yep.
But it's
And-
interesting that they actually have I don't know who sets up the rules for them or anything, but.
Oh, I
they-
know, it's
Yeah.
just, and I also discovered about them that they only have that little tiny opening that they go in and out of.
Yeah.
On the underside of the hive is all a mesh netting so that it's aerated, so that it doesn't get all that moisture buildup. And they
Yeah.
actually, they can get mites on their wings. And what they do is they fly underneath the hive and they flutter their wings on that screen and it removes all the mites. So they're like self-cleaning themselves.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, Mel,
and the,
what I want to
they
tell
have
you is like when
guard
you're done your
bees
edge,
at the door.
Yep.
Right.
That they watch, and only those bees from that hive are allowed to get in.
when
And
you
Yeah.
pour
any predators
more
try to get
resin
in,
in
they
it,
attack them.
Gonna move them?
yeah. But
Yeah.
it's okay.
And bees only
You
live
can move
21
them back,
days.
because it's not,
About 45
it's
days,
not
I
gonna
think.
dry right away.
21.
Yeah.
But if
21?
it does
21
move them.
Oh, no, it's 21
It does
days
move 'em.
from when the queen lays the eggs to the born.
You'll have the primary
Right.
that
design
it takes for
set,
them to
and you just
become adult.
readjust
And
it.
then the adult
So don't get
bees
upset
show the
if
baby
it
bees. They don't
moves
know
your
how to
stuff.
fly when they're born.
Right, they don't have to do
Another thing you
anything,
could
yeah.
do
No,
now,
they-
especially since
It's so cool to watch them. And
you
when,
could
and the
actually
adult
start
ones, when they're
adding
dying,
the resin,
they're like lethargic.
if you, before
And you
you
can pick them up
put
and,
your design
you know,
in the
I had
center.
them crawling on
And
me.
then that way it'll keep it
It's like,
there.
oh,
You
man.
understand what I
And
mean?
they actually, the
But
younger
put the
ones
wire
will
in
take
If
the
you put
older
the
ones if
resin
they
in,
Yeah.
see that they're dying close to the nook or the hive.
When you're done,
And move them
your
away,
edging,
so that
readjust your
like ants
edging,
and stuff won't come and take
and
them.
then add your
because,
center,
they'll
you
go
have a
to
center, right?
when they're dying.
Then you can
Yeah.
add your center
Yeah.
into the clear resin. You know what I'm
Well, I've
saying?
got the red to go around the inside of this.
Okay.
And then some of the little silver beads.
Okay, whatever you feel
then the back.
comfortable with, just realize that that resin will move stuff,
Okay.
possibly.
And if I pour it in the center, it will go out and hopefully,
My resin is not getting done
resonating?
enough. I guess it's still, I know, put a little flashlight on it quite a bit. I need to throw it in the oven now, right? Feel how soft it is.
Did you use the flashlight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched him
Yeah.
use the flashlight.
Probably the alcohol.
Yeah, maybe the alcohol ink started it off. Yeah. Maybe that's it. The alcohol
You got
does
it
it every time.
intoxicated,
Yeah, I
Gary.
know, that does it every time. Yeah, I use a flashlight
so
quite a
you,
bit.
you didn't suggest doing the next row?
I want you to realize that you're gonna be doing a readjustment,
Okay.
and if you're comfortable with that, that's fine. Either way, it's an adjustment, because your next level is a clear, right? It's gonna be clear. So at that point, you have to realize that right now, it probably won't adjust, you probably won't have a
Right.
problem with that outer one. It's the center ones that will move a little bit more,
Okay.
especially if you have gaps. See, your outer side don't have gaps, so it probably won't flow that much.
Broke them in half.
Test it now.
Probably was having some,
No. look,
God,
oh,
Gary,
I
what the
know.
heck's your
That's
problem?
what I'm saying.
You're always a problem
I
child.
know, I am, I realize
You're
that.
always a problem
I
child.
know it.
There.
See, you didn't believe me.
Start working on another one.
Okay, I'm gonna work on
I'm
another one
getting
here.
crusted up here.
Huh?
there's some, I think some of the.
Let's check on my other one out here.
So give them half then 1.5 of the half, so it's basically 3/8.
Just tell her to give them 2 halves, or 2 of the small pieces.
That's what I'm saying. Where the half, we both go to the quarters.
Sometimes they stay tackier than we would like them to.
All right, just give him. All right, she's gonna get you giving more. Just, give him some of this. And then some of the slightly smaller pieces. So give her like a quarter, and then more than one for the small, and it's essentially 3/8. I think she has.
I'm breaking
No,
up
I-
the stones
I've
into
heard
little tiny pieces so I
Text
can
coming
use
in on
them.
the phone or something coming in on the phone like that.
Otherwise, they're too big
Yeah.
I know.
for what I want to do.
But,
That's
I've
okay.
been videoing, so I couldn't stop. All right, and plus, we're out here extinguishing.
I wish I had had the time to do this
Well, apparently you
yesterday,
had-
but I was working.
Yeah, I know, and I kept
And
interrupting you.
somebody just kept calling me.
I know.
I believe it, but, keep,
The
do
one,
that.
I was like, maybe she was trying to call me to tell me something went wrong with the William Holland thing.
Oh, no, no, no.
That thing had me panicked. Oh my gosh, I was so upset
No,
with
once
the
I
way.
gave you the confirmation number, that, we were golden.
I
You're
hope
a
so.
golden girl.
I hope so. But I really like
As long
that
as
week.
Janet pays the
Good.
bill.
Yeah, I like that week.
Right.
I might
Yeah.
go again in October, I'm not sure.
Big ones,
I
right,
haven't decided. I'll have to see how it plays out in October.
right?
You know, you can also paint with resin. Paint with a paintbrush.
Ooh, here's a big one.
I think that alcohol ink messes that up, because I did it with regular ink.
It's kind of like a case of like antifreeze, you know?
Exactly, exactly. It's all like antifreeze, he's exactly right.
Just increase the drying time, so to speak.
Yeah.
Break it up. No, not plastic. Did you try calling Ralph to see him?
I texted him, the little rat.
Probably forgot.
I know. He probably did. Two if you need extra, if you're working on more than one piece at a time. Sorry about that. I so love doing these things. These classes,
I hear you.
and the classes with the club too. I hope we can get back to that soon. Oh, we can get back to everything soon.
Yeah, that would be really nice.
Is that important? Everybody's laughter.
You can't stay till noon, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
I know it's only 9 to 11, but.
Yeah.
Hey, Jude?
Huh? What? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm over here doing my own thing.
I decided not to do the,
That's too
the
high.
red. But yeah, that one's too high.
Yeah.
Further
Yeah,
down.
I think it would be smart to use that one.
This one's bigger though. Might not be as thick, but it's bigger.
Oh, put it in there, see. All right, take your time. You don't have any resin in there that's soft, right?
No, there's some in there, I think, on the edges.
Well, it's okay though. It's not gonna sink, right?
Right.
Okay. It looks thinner.
Yeah, not enough. Because I put a little layer to
Mhm.
hold the beads in.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. He's just too big for the bezel. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna dome it several times. That's what you'll have to do, if you like to keep it that way. What's this?
Do you have anything?
Can't you put that in there?
That's a Celtic thing. That's gonna be too big.
You're gonna make more than one of these, so you got time to take, let's just say this. You can take these bears,
Mhm.
okay?
Mhm.
And the next one you do can be set into clear resin, and you can actually do the setting in the clear resin that will bring down the bear, probably the level of your bezel. I'll show you.
I want to just look in here and see what you're doing. Oh, that's really pretty.
Let me give you
I
an
like that.
example
Nice.
of what I
I
mean.
need the beads to stick.
Okay, let me give you an example, Mel.
Yeah.
Let me show you an example. Some of
Putting
these
the red
bezels
in
are
between there
bigger
would
than
really
others.
highlight it too.
I put that in there to begin with, and the beads are
Look.
longer and they really don't fit.
Oh, they didn't fit right?
So,
Oh,
I don't know which
darn.
one you want to use, but let me just show you. Now look,
Got some resin
look,
on the back of it.
look. So, let's say you don't use pigment,
Okay,
and you use clear.
okay.
How's it going over there?
So you
Gary?
pour in the
Pretty
clear, right, you know, under your, you put this on tape first.
Yeah,
Like we normally do. I got it.
Is there a bees association or something
Okay.
for the club?
You see
I
what
don't
I'm
know about that
saying?
stuff.
If
Oh,
you go
I
clear.
actually, there's a lot of bee groups on Facebook that I join.
Also,
And I learn a lot
let me
from
explain
there.
something else
Yeah.
to you.
I think
use
it's
your-
quite interesting.
Now, imagine this, okay? Imagine that we put
Where's
this
Our tape.
resin in, we set your pieces in, or you set your pieces into your design. You harden it.
Okay, where's the star?
Now you know you still have to dome the back.
Where is it?
When you turn this over and we dome the back really lightly, you can put glitter or pigment in that side, and it'll shine through to the front.
Okay.
And you won't disturb what, you know, but you can see that here? It's a slightly over, because it's moving it. But it, oh, okay. So, you could finish that with something else. And there's a ton of these. Everybody gets to do several of these, all the time, right, Gare?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think last class I made like 7 of them.
Yeah. So,
And-
just, you know,
Do you have anything with a Native American type? Oh, you got, do you have a feather over there? You have a feather, don't you?
yeah, got a wing, look at that, you got an arrow. You wanna look through this? You got that. And you guys probably know this, but these charms, if you, let me jog your memory, these are, you just cut the top of this off with the
Right.
snips.
Right,
Right?
yes, we did that
Okay.
before, yep.
So if you find one of these, Melody, we just cut the snip
Yeah.
the top off of
Ooh,
those.
you know what,
That's
I
what
bet
we
I
did
could do
with that
two
one.
ovals on one.
What?
Well, that's what I think I'll do, is I'll do two.
I have blue sand, if that helps you any, Melody?
No, blue sand, no, I don't think that
Well,
would help.
color-wise, like a turquoise?
Well, you know, I've got this, the small pieces of
Because
turquoise,
I'm
maybe I'll
doing
just throw those
repetitive
in there.
patterns, so I can do two at one time.
Yes, ma'am.
And if I had a big block of marble, I could do,
I was thinking, oh, this is
you know, because
small enough, this is big enough. I was thinking,
I got all kinds of marble at home I use.
I did too, but I picked the small one,
Well, that's okay,
unfortunately.
these are fine.
Yeah.
And I still haven't done anything with the tiles when we did the beads and, we made the tree of life with the clay.
I love that, oh my
man.
God, I do, I love
I
that so
glued it
much.
on, but I haven't decided what I want to do for a background, you know, that's on the tile
Oh,
to
yeah,
decorate
you're gonna
it.
tile that,
Yeah.
like a mosaic?
Yeah, but I haven't, I haven't even done my agate window that I want to do in my bathroom. Well, the problem is, every time, when I wanted to do it, everything was closed. To go get a piece of glass, because I have to do it on glass.
Choose this one. This is the real
Can I have a pair of tongs?
designer
Yes, ma'am.
bezel.
Thank you.
This is my charm.
'Cause I got-
I have a
It's a
small
very
amount
sharp
of
glass
resin in it.
here.
You can barely see it.
I want to get all the tiny ones on the bottom.
Little pieces of my foil glitter, there's chunkier glitter around it.
'Cause this is my red.
And then I'll finish you off by doing it. And then I'll
These are
show
from
you
Dave.
This is a little different version of it.
I guess they're not tiny enough. There's a nice tiny one right there.
Oh my God. Let's do that.
I have thicker glitter up here too, chunkier. I'll show you in a minute. I like to use this when I'm at home and I'm, you know, in my own head, you might say.
Your element?
Yeah. I like to do layers for definition. They look cool. The layers. I did a Mardi Gras mask. You saw that, didn't you, Mel?
Yeah,
Yeah, like a Mardi Gras mask, charm, and then I had the glitter floating around it.
Oh, wow.
Kinda cool. But it reminds you of Mardi Gras, you know, with the glitter. I'm calling it glitter, I don't know.
That's a piece of orange. Orange, yeah, here.
Shred glitter set, that's what this is called, shred glitter set.
Could you just put this under, that's, oh, right here, oh yeah, this
Too
one.
big, too big, too big.
This is on.
Jude, how long does this need to be in? Oh,
I don't know what she just said. She said just a few minutes.
Gary's a pro.
Yeah. It's good.
All right, so we put our resin in first, right?
Yeah, put a little resin
the
in first.
background, yeah.
Well,
Put it in here and then
Yes.
pour it in there like this. It's
Yeah.
easier to pour, I think.
are you
Easier,
making a
has more
different
control.
color?
No, it's gonna be clear. I want it clear.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't think, putting alcohol ink, I
I'm gonna get yours, Gary.
I wonder if he would set at this point, yeah. It might be a problem. Huh. Maybe
Look,
yes.
this is the chunkier glitter. You see it? This is
Oh,
the
yeah.
effect that the chunkier glitter has.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty.
Like a foiling effect.
That's a nice frame.
Yeah, they're up there. You can use them next if you want.
Oh, wow.
This is real thin layer of resin though. Then I'm
Right.
gonna dome it after I do this. I'm going to get yours now,
Oh, you're
Gary.
working
Alright.
on that right now?
Yeah.
Oh, how cool.
So this is in there a minute, that should be enough, you think?
Did you use pigment?
Not this one.
Now get that in there for a little while. I might bring it out here. Let me see how these are doing.
Okay, all right. No pigment in that one. Okay.
It's a good thing that this stuff doesn't set real quick,
Yes,
so we can,
play with it a little bit.
yeah. Move it around to make it at least a nice little thin layer.
All right, you're good to go on this one, Gary.
Really? Okay. Did finally set up then.
Let me see yours. Your
Uh,
other one. I'll put it out there.
Oh, it's still tacky.
It's not tacky, I think it's nice.
Okay, use the rest.
No, I didn't set, do we have another UV light?
I'll just have this for a few seconds.
Okay.
You know what? It's direct sun out there.
I don't want to walk outside.
I can do it.
No, oh, wait a second, is that a UV light right over there?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's 3 of them. Well, there's an extra one. So put that shirt forward.
Yep.
I have them away from the bushes and stuff too.
Oh, so they don't get stuff on them?
Wait, there's a, oh no. There's a bubble coming up.
Uh-oh.
Yep, I got it.
Oh, you're doming it?
Yeah. There's a bubble coming up again. Must be under the, let's see if I can do this.
Oh, it's still a little tacky, almost. Right down on top of it.
Go away, you funny little bubble. Well, bubble burst, but now I have a hole.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
And I've already filled it in once, so,
I don't know.
Oh shit.
Did you poop?
Freaking cow. I asked for this.
Oh, you didn't open up the door?
Yeah. She said both of them have to be done.
What has to be done?
The doors,
doors have to be open when there are people inside.
I'll get the front door.
in case there's an
No,
emergency.
no, no, I just unlocked. Not open, just
Oh,
unlocked.
just unlock.
One, you have this here.
Rat me out now.
Nope.
I'm
I
telling,
said the class was over and then she decided to open the emergency.
I'm telling.
My lips are sealed.
I know nothing.
Not like I haven't done that in a class before. Okay, here's what I did.
Oh, beautiful.
When I first, oh, I fell in love with it when I found it. When I first did it, when I put this on there and then put the clear over it, a little bubble came up right here. Well, it was a big bubble actually. Came up right here after I put this, had the, I put the UV light on it. I put this on it. okay, that brought the bubble up, I guess. I put the UV light on it, and then I realized the bubble was there, so I took the UV light off, it was only on for a couple of seconds. And I touched
Popped
it,
it? Good.
and then there was a hole. So I filled in the hole, the bubble came up again, popped it again, filled it in again, and now I think it's
Yep.
filled in.
Resin will do that. No guarantees to get the bubbles out.
Question.
Just a challenge to do it sometimes.
The back side that the tape is on is the back of the pendant,
Yep.
correct? Okay.
And we'll perfect that later. We'll make it pretty.
And I put some more resin on the top of this
Well, let's
because,
do this first. Let's, is it, cured? What are you
I
doing?
did it with the light,
Okay.
but I'm,
It's horrible. I like it, but it's like, how does it get all over me? And I'm trying to be careful, you know? It's like, what the heck?
that's like epoxy. You do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, epoxy. Regular resin. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about like 5-minute epoxy when I'm using it
What are you using
for
that
something. Well,
Am I thinking of something different? What?
no, it's a glue.
Oh, the
Different
glue
things.
kind.
Yeah.
Anybody that needs extra of these knives to buy, they're $1 each.
Knives?
What knives?
Exactos.
Oh,
I just need blades.
I don't have them.
All right, thank you.
I'm buying for $1 a piece for the place.
Oh, no. I can buy a pack of 12 of them for $1 at the flea market. It's just getting to the flea market to do it, you know? Especially since I'm wheelless, you know, and I don't want to have to take cars to do that.
And when you're done using a cup, if you want to use another cup, just throw the other cup away, you're good. Everybody's good. See how much usage Joe's got out of it.
Did you say you brought my other one in, or are you still out there?
So I just brought that one out there. I got the green one. You worked with the green one?
Yeah.
You want me to put another one out there, or you want me to get the other one?
So, how many I've worked on? Just 2 is all, right?
No, just keep working.
Okay, all right.
Just
Just
keep
keep
going.
Creating, Gary.
Okay.
Just don't, you're gonna dome it again anyway. It takes all, once you put another layer on, I mean, you can literally screw that thing up so bad and put another layer of resin on, and it's like nothing ever happened. Believe that, I'm telling you. That's what happened. Melody, these are my tablecloths from our estate sale.
yeah, I remember that one.
I don't like this one. Next time I have to pay attention to whether they're square or round.
Oh, it's round.
I can use it, it's just not very effective, you know?
Not very wieldy. Everybody's got me on wheeled, the word.
Raise as much as possible, if it's still tacky when you leave here.
So now we're gonna do. See it here, I hope it's not caught. Gary, you look like you're gonna use your gloves.
Take them back.
Yeah, take my gloves, some of these.
You need it, Roberta?
No, ma'am.
No.
Crazy at home.
June?
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Here, here. Oh. Okay, you got change for 5?
Huh?
You got a change for 5? If you
Probably.
don't, I'll just take one here, because I got a $1 anyway.
You can take just one.
Huh? Okay, I'll just take
It's
one.
up to you.
Okay, there's one, I'll just take one.
Thank you. I'll have them for a while.
Okay, cool. Seems like I'm always needing an X-Acto knife. Where's my X-Acto knife? Where's my X-Acto knife?
We have tons of them.
Yeah, I know it is. You're right, because you sit there and you think, well, I got this, and then as you're doing it, you keep adding this and this and that, and then you had it set up really nice, so.
Thank you, Gary.
Real,
Very professional.
Very professional, very business.
yeah,
I
very,
try.
very professional, very, like this
I
logical
put my heart and
set
my
up.
soul in it every time. I don't care if it's one person or video.
No,
Shame on you.
I know.
Anyway, that was really a different type of setup for me, because I had to be above what I was doing, like this. and
Right.
So did the camera. But you can't see through.
Okay, this is, so now, do you think they have any market value on these things?
Depends on
What
your clientele.
Clientele, yeah.
What something's worth is what somebody's willing to pay
Yeah.
for it.
Exactly.
You know, one of a kind. I read that in